Well, hi there, Robin.
Hi, Steph.
This week's theme, or maybe, I don't know, just the theme in general, has been showing up everywhere lately for me and in our sessions and conversations with friends and in the way people describe moving through their days. It connects directly to what we're exploring in this series. How our nervous systems respond when the world becomes too much. What we're witnessing isn't just stress or overwhelm. It is a kind of collective shutdown, something deeper, heavier, happening across so many bodies at once. People aren't just overwhelmed, they're showing signs of larger collective nervous system under strain. So many are frozen, numb, disconnected, moving through life as observers rather than participants, present enough to see everything, but not present enough to feel part of it. Does that make sense?
Yes. And it's important to say clearly, this isn't about people giving up. It's that freeze. Freeze isn't laziness. It is not apathy. It's what happens when someone has been pushing beyond capacity for too long or enduring conditions no nervous system is built to tolerate indefinitely. It's just not sustainable. The mind may say, keep going, but the body steps in and says, I can't. Freeze becomes the wisdom that speaks when every other survival strategy has just been exhausted.
Oh my gosh. What breaks my heart hearing that is how many people believe they're the only ones experiencing this. They don't realize survivors often share the same shutdown patterns, quietly, privately, with shame. They're hiding it, right? So we don't get to see that. Believing their nervous system response is like a personal failure rather than a deeply human one.
Exactly. And that's why today we're exploring freeze. That numbness, that despair, and really the contrast of that, the intelligence of that stillness. Because the body doesn't fall silent without purpose. Stillness isn't failure. It really is information. It's that interruption. It's recalibration. And really, sometimes it's the most honest truth your system can offer. All right, let's take a moment to arrive. It doesn't need to be a big, dramatic shift. Just a grounding, a quiet acknowledgement of the body you're in right now. If your body feels numb, flat, shut down, distant, or disconnected, that's okay. You don't need to force anything. Let's just begin with that noticing. Letting your attention settle in a way that feels accessible. You might notice the temperature of the air on your skin, the texture beneath your fingertips, or the sense of space around you. These small anchors are enough. If you're dissociated or floating, see if you can identify one single point of contact. Your feet on the ground, the weight of your body in a chair, even the support behind your back. And if that feels like too much, simply notice your breath or the faintest sounds in the room. And if you feel nothing, that's not broken. It's protective. If you feel too much, that's okay. Your system is speaking loudly. And then if you feel both, welcome. That's one of the most human doorways into freeze. Taking one simple breath, nothing special, just enough to mark that you're here. And let that exhale also be whatever it is. There's no wrong way to breathe.
Freeze is one of the most misunderstood nervous system states. People assume naturally that it means someone has shut down emotionally or has stopped caring. But freeze happens when neither fight or flight is available anymore. The body has reached a threshold where survival requires stillness.
And it rarely happens suddenly. Freeze is usually the end of a very long stretch of coping, masking, pushing, and holding everything together. It can be months, sometimes years of endurance. Freeze is the body saying, I've carried you as far as I can. When we interpret freeze as failure, we overlook its intelligence. Freeze is preservation, conservation, a boundary drawn by the nervous system itself.
How eloquently put and profound, because I truly believe trauma survivors often misinterpret freeze the most. They think it means they're themselves failing, that they've lost motivation or discipline. But freeze is a brilliant adaptation. It slows the system before something inside breaks. It's the body applying brakes when the world refuses to.
Yeah. Freeze isn't weakness. It's your body protecting what remains when every other survival response has run its course. When someone says, I feel stuck, or I know what to do, but I can't make myself do it, please know that that's not a lack of willpower. That is the nervous system saying, I need time, I need space, and I need stillness. And because freeze looks like stillness, people assume nothing is happening, but internally, the system is doing tremendous work. It's reorganizing, protecting, and holding.
Also, if you're wondering how to tell whether you might be in a freeze state, here are a few gentle signs to look for. And noticing them can help you understand your system with more compassion. Notice if you're moving through the day on autopilot, doing tasks, but not really like in them, right? Not present. You can name your emotions cognitively, but you can't feel them in your body. You may feel far away from yourself, like you're watching life more than living it. Decisions feel impossible, even the small ones. Rest doesn't even feel restorative. It just feels like checking out. You know it would help, but you can't make your body move toward it. Everything feels both urgent and unreachable. It's like hopeless feelings, helpless feelings. These aren't failures. These are the cues. Your system is whispering, hey, I'm overwhelmed. I need a pause before I can come back online.
Perfect. Thank you. And I think freeze is also far more common than our culture acknowledges. We're living in conditions that overwhelm nervous systems every day. That constant crisis, relentless productivity demands, emotional labor that goes unseen or unsupported. Freeze becomes the pause the world refuses to provide. It's the emergency brake when the speed is just too much. And we need to name this clearly. There are no coping tools for a broken system. Freeze is not a personal shortcoming. It's a biological response to impossible conditions.
Exactly. When someone hits freeze, their system is saying, this isn't sustainable. And often freeze is the only thing powerful enough to bring everything to a stop. It's actually quite magical if you think about it and you know how to respond to it effectively and stop badgering yourself, because that is also not helping. Let's move on to our nervous system nugget. Today, our nervous system nugget is this. Freeze is the body saying, I can't keep running the wrong race.
Freeze is opting out. It's the system saying this direction isn't survivable. This pace isn't workable. I can't keep participating in something that's costing me too much. Stillness is protective. Numbness is protective. And shutdown isn't the absence of desire, it's the presence of a boundary.
Freeze is strategic conservation. The nervous system preserves energy, reallocates resources, and waits for conditions to shift, even slightly, before re-engaging. Understanding this loosens the shame.
And I think that it can also really interrupt that burnout, that right before that complete and utter just downward slope. It really disrupts that generational pattern of over-functioning. And I think that a lot of us are really acknowledging that we cannot live like this. It focuses a reevaluation of pace, relationships, expectations, and those environments. And freeze can really create that quiet needed for our repair.
Our coping tool this week is thawing rituals. Gentle invitations back into aliveness that don't demand productivity, emotion, or energy.
Thawing isn't about jumping from frozen to functional. It's about moving from frozen to slightly more present, from disconnected to a little closer in. And the key is smallness, those tiny shifts the body can tolerate. And a few ways to thaw are through micro movements. And this could look like finger wiggling, ankle rolling, one shoulder circle, subtle invitations back toward movement. With sound, you can quietly hum, just like a low vibration. A gentle exhale with tone. That sound really activates the vagus nerve without any pressure. And even through some creative flickers. So drawing, doodling, even just like one or two at a time. One line of a poem, not a project, just like a little spark, a reminder of imagination. Then even sensory warmth, a warm mug, a blanket, a heating pad on the chest or stomach, a bath. Warmth really signals safety to that frozen system. And then orientation, slowly looking around the room or wherever you are, noticing what's there. Not to be mindful, to help the body confirm it's not in danger.
Right. We want to reiterate that. We're not asking you to do like that meditation or that tool that actually isn't quite possible in those states. Because these rituals here aren't for fixing freeze. They are for meeting it. They say, I won't rush you. I'll be here while you thaw.
Oh, I love that.
Me
And when
too.
you approach your body with that kind of softness, thawing doesn't have to be a breakthrough moment. It becomes a slow returning, a quiet re-entry. Your system learns it can come back online without that pressure or urgency. If you are in freeze right now, I want you to take a moment to remember this. Your body is responding exactly as it needs to in order to keep you safe. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're really responding to overwhelm with an intelligent pause. Freeze may feel like a shutdown, and before we close, just notice your body again, even the smallest point of contact, so you have something steady to land on.
Yes, that steady anchor that helps. And your reflection question for this week is this. What part of you has been trying to protect you by going still? And what tiny shift would feel like a gentle thaw, not a demand?
Freeze is not the opposite of healing. It's often, again, that doorway into it. Your stillness is not the end. It's the beginning of something reshaping itself inside of you.
And thank you for being here with us today, again, in whatever way your body allowed.
Take care of your nervous system this week.
And remember, healing isn't linear, and we're here for the ride.
Thank you for listening today. Take what was helpful, set down what wasn't, and give yourself a little space to land as the episode comes to a close. More grounded conversations, science, and practical nervous system tools are on the way next week. This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not therapy, does not provide medical or mental health advice, and does not create any kind of therapeutic relationship. For personalized support, please reach out to a licensed mental health professional in your area or contact your local crisis resources if you're in immediate need.